ride or die.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Carlos again, here to bring you a re-edit of the SU-122-44 review. This is the second part of the review where I go over some gameplay footage and show you some of the tactics you should use in a platoon or not in a platoon. Right now I'm in a platoon with Cowan from the 501st Division. Just want to give a small shout out to him. Let him know I appreciate his help on this. If you guys want to be in any of these, just let me know. Send me a message on Discord or an invite in-game, and just let me know. Other than that, just going to go over a few simple things. This thing, it's not a pure sniper. I've said it before. If you guys would like to see more of the in-depth specs, I would suggest going to look at the original review, which I will link in the bottom of the description of this video. This thing can snipe when it needs to, but what it really prefers is medium range and helping out medium tanks, to be specific. So you can see the dispersion is kind of questionable at this long range, but if you let it go down, it definitely can do some damage. I've already done over 85% of that KV-2's health in 2 shots, and I haven't even been touched. So a try for the third there would have been a pretty spectacular start to the game, but instead they take out our Type 62 and we are forced to go over the hill and try to help Cowan deal with the Type 29. And right now, I'm thinking, well, I'm spotted, but we could potentially get some more damage into this T-20, which could be a problem later, and we do. We render him pretty much ineffective, but there's also people who are invisible right now that I can't see. Try to get a good shot into the SU, but I don't, and now I'm feeling the burn a little bit with the health. That's what you want to do. You want to try to conserve hit points. You also want to try to take out as many guns as you can with your fantastic DPM in this tank. And I'm trying to kind of flank around so I'm not the main target and let some other people damage sponge for me. Because with my gun in the game, we definitely have a better chance than if I wasn't in the game. Right now we have a Yag Panther pulling up trying to get some side shots, which I was attempting to do. So what I'm trying to do right now is double team him with Cowan and take him out, and we do that pretty nicely here. Get a nice high roll on mine, he gets a good roll, finishes him off. Now I think to push over here, because there's only a KV-2 and these 2 guys left, I thought about the KV-1S, but if I could have, I would have taken the T-20 out, because the T-20 is much more mobile and has a better DPM than the KV-1S, meaning he probably could have killed me much easier, so that's probably who I would have targeted first of all, and that's the first game down. KV-2 calls us a killjoy, but you know, if you're going to camp in a KV-2 and you're going to get shot the first 2 times, probably not the best idea. So we move on to the second game. It's a game on vineyards. Me and Cowan again, just usually going the direct route to the ruins. And what I'm going to do is, since I run binoculars in this tank, is I'm going to go ahead and set up in that bush that mediums usually spot in. I'm going to attempt to see some people crossing, or any of the heavies that are on their team, attempting to get into positions throughout the vineyards. So I asked the SP to spot, but it looks like he's just going to rush the ruins over there instead of go with me. I let Cowan go on his own because I know he can handle himself. If he gets rushed, we will be there for him, but we're going to try to get some early spots for the team going up to one of these 2 bushes. I'd recommend this bush on the right because it's better to back up to the right behind the rock so you don't get shot from town and from vineyards at the same time, which you probably would if you were next to the house over there in that bush. So I set up my binoculars. We get ready to go ahead and try to get some reconnaissance for the team when I notice that Cowan gets rushed and we need to get over there quickly because Akron will be an SP-1C and a Cheeto are all rushing him pretty hard, and I don't want him to die because we really need him in this match. So I pull up what we're going to do is put some HE through the side of this Cheeto, and Cowan gets a good shot on him. I get a really good roll on him. He's down to pretty much no health, and anyone who's can shoot him at all will finish him off. Fortunately, I get some bad luck. I don't go to the beams there. I hit the house instead. I decide that we really need to take out this SP-1C, so I use my mobility and the time between them shooting me to go ahead and take him out. And now I'm pulling back, and I am getting ready to put some shots into the IS. I tell the other team that it was worth it, but it really is, because now they've lost 3 tanks to our none, and I've barely taken any damage comparatively. The bad dispersion kicks in on the gun again, and right now we're just waiting for a good opportunity to shoot either one of those tanks that pops out. I'm letting Cowan get the Yag Panther there, which he does, and I wait for the Hellcat to pop out, get a lucky shot in him, pull back enough to let the IS miss, and now we got all 3 tanks that are left in front of us. So I'm going to use what I mentioned earlier in the other review, which is side scraping sideways off the back of a tank. You may not be able to shoot anybody, but you're providing a distraction enough to where your teammates can get the damage in, which does happen. So after those guys, the last 2 left and they're behind, I'm going to flank around and let Cowan go forward, just in case they try to run, which the Hellcat does. He does try to rush the SU-100, and I almost get a shot in, but Cowan takes it, and he gets his top gun right here. So congrats to him. Mediocre damage from me, but a really good game from Cowan. What I did was I played strategically there, tried to save him, and you could see by saving him that damage was able to keep going from him. This map we usually go right, because the far hill is usually controlled by mediums, no matter how many mediums you have. Cowan tells the Centurion 1 that he needs to take the far corner, and he actually doesn't, which is problematic, because if they push us real hard, we could have problems getting trapped in this back corner. A good spot for tank destroyers at the start here is this hill to the right. You'll see later, it's not easy to stay unspotted, so if you do get spotted, I would suggest rolling right back down behind the hill. With the height of the hill and the speed of the hill, well, the speed that the hill generates, it can help you get hidden and help you avoid shots very quickly. So I'm telling him we have the same idea, which is it's nice to have both tanks here, because now if they do try to push the far hill, we have potentially 800-ish damage that we can put into them, and you'll see that coming up right here. A Tiger 2 moves in, and we're going to go ahead and use a PCR to get that first shot to make him back off, and bam, already 732 health off that guy. So I get spotted right there, and you can see that. I'm rolling back, and I'm telling him I'm spotted, which is good team communication, so he knows that I can't take that spot. So I'm going to move up, and I'm going to go ahead, and because the Rheinmetall has spotted out that right side, I know there's no one flanking around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over here. I'm speeding up the footage, by the way. I'm going to move over here, and you put this hill between me and the SU-122, and I'm going to just continually put shots into the side of this Tiger P until he's dead. You can see just the fantastic TPM. He got 3 shots off, which would have equaled 600. I got 3 shots off, which equaled around about 1200, and he's dead. Cowan needs help, so what's happening right now is he has encountered a flanking Yag Panther. He's managed with his speed to get next to him. I go for the tracking shot here to get it, and he finishes him off, so GG to us. We played that pretty well. I tried to get back as best I could. He did what he could, though, which is hold the tank that was attacking him. Spoiler alert, we don't get the kill on the Carnarvon that is left. He's AFK, and I did get some damage on him, which just boosts the score a little bit, but it's always nice when the players aren't AFK, so you actually have a challenge. These are just some average games. These aren't mastery games. Mastery games go from anywhere from 3.8k to 4.5k on the usual. I think both of my mastery games have been somewhere in the 3.9 to 4.2k damage games. It's not hard to master this tank. What usually happens with this tank is you do so well out the start that your team kind of just capitalizes on how well you do. You'd really have to have a bad team to start getting into mastery territory, because that means you're farming damage and you're able to keep what's left of your team alive, and the XP that you get from that really boosts your chance of getting an ace tanker or a first class badge. At this point, I'm going to go into the preferred sniper role to go ahead and protect what I have of the team. We have 3 mediums, but there's also 3 heavies, so with my binoculars, I'm going to try to spot anyone who is flanking into town and try to shoot if those light tanks go up in the hill. I'm speeding up the footage a little bit here because we don't get any spots on the left, and they eventually pop on the right here. But you'll see me move in just a minute, because I realize that they're not going to pop on the left, and so that definitely means that they've gone around. So I move, I put myself a bit farther back in the bush, I check to see if I have enough gun depression. And Cowan says we need to attack, but right when he says it, they all get spotted in the middle, and this is a perfect spot for me right now. I have shots in the T25 too. The VK3002 Aus M is also available. For some reason, this shot doesn't go in. I am not entirely sure. It must have just barely clipped the rock, but I was really confused in game as to why that happened. But that's just the that really is just the nature of the gun. It really is a good gun when it's when it comes to bear, when it's able to shoot on target, but it really can give you a headache with all the tracking shots and all the very close misses that it can produce. So I'm a bit concerned. There's a VK2801 on my right, and he is spotting me for the team, but the team is so focused on the people we have flanking that he's just not really doing much to me. And I'm not sure where that shot went. The VK has paper thin armor, and this thing is a fantastic gun. So even with that hitting the tracks, it really should have done damage. I'm just not sure why it didn't. Get a really good Hail Mary shot there on the KV2. He goes down, and actually pretty good sportsmanship on his part. He tells me I had a good shot. I thank him, because you don't usually see that kind of sportsmanship in game. And I'm a bit concerned about the VK. I feel like he's flanking around, so what I'm doing is I'm relocating closer to the IS, the Tiger P, and the SP. Now this could potentially put me in a crossfire, but the problem is the VK doesn't have the DPM to kill me. He really doesn't. And he gets one shot in here, and I trade him for 370 some damage, and he is instantly almost half health. If he comes out again, he'll be below 15% health. Now I wanted to show you guys this. This is a really amazing moment for me. No scope on the IS that's coming around. Now I'm sure he was aiming at this point, but he just didn't get the chance to do it, and we just do a fantastic drive-by. And I do cop some damage here, and I'm kind of worried about the SP because I know he has an autoloader, so my main focus is to hide from him and not from the VK, because I know someone can take care of the VK if need be, but the SP just needs to die, pretty much. Cowan gets a fantastic shot, HE into the side of it, sets him on fire, he dies. The Tiger P goes down as well, and then what's left is the VK. And spoiler alert, I don't get him, but that's it just shows you the great gun, the amazing DPM, the bounces that you can get, and the fact that this thing has some of the best mobility for a tank destroyer out there. Guys, if you want to know any more like in-depth analytics about this tank, I would really highly recommend you check out the first episode I did on the SU-122-44. If you already have, I want to thank you for coming and watching the second episode. It took me a little while to make, but I really appreciate all the likes, comments, and subscribes that you guys have given me. Thank you so much. This has been World Class Carlos, and I will catch you in the next video.